Let's get right to my first reads of the morning. In just over an hour, the president leaves the White House for a 3-day West Coast swing, mostly fundraisers, but it takes him to Nevada, California, and Colorado. And now that it's clear his jobs bill is going nowhere in Congress, President Obama's message is changing from pass this bill to we can't wait. Today in Las Vegas, he'll announce the first in a series of executive branch efforts aimed at the struggling economy. Some new rules for federally guaranteed mortgages, which would allow more homeowners, including those with no equity in their homes, to refinance and avoid foreclosure. Nevada, of course, has both the highest unemployment and the highest foreclosure rate in the nation. Oh, and it's a swing state. And 80% of homeowners there are underwater, meaning their house is worth less than what they owe. But so far, the administration's foreclosure plan, announced in 2009, hasn't been succeeding. This weekend, the vice president summed up what has been the biggest problem for the White House. It has been impossible to force banks to cooperate on the policy.
We're continuing to try to work with banks so they can get in the business of actually doing what we think they should have been doing much more of, and that is sitting down and renegotiating with people who are about to go under.
But you can't force them to do it, or can you? The We Can't Wait campaign that kicks off today has two targets, congressional Republicans who offered an alternative narrative this weekend. Here's Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell.
These bills are designed on purpose not to pass. Their storyline is that there must be some villain out there who's keeping this administration from succeeding.
The other target of today's announcement is Mitt Romney. The White House is eager to keep these comments that Romney made last week to the Las Vegas Review-Journal in the news.
Don't try and stop the foreclosure process. Let it run its course and hit the bottom, allow investors to buy homes, put renters in them, fix the homes up, and let it turn around and come back up.
This is actually a philosophical divide between the two parties. You have some in the Republican side that argue the market should take care of itself, let it happen, let the housing market bottom. The Democratic side of the argument is this is only going to hurt the economy more, make it longer to get out of this mess. There's an argument that supports each side of this. More importantly, though, it's political fodder, and that's why you're going to see a lot more of this. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton forcefully made the case for President Obama's re-election this weekend, blanketing the Sunday shows, nearly a full Ginsburg, not quite, and making her support for the president unequivocal.
President Obama has passed with flying colors every leadership challenge. His kind of smart leadership in a complex world is paying off. I'm out of politics, as you know, David. I don't comment on it, but I think Americans are going to want to know that they have a steady, experienced, smart hand on the tiller of the ship of state, and there's no doubt that that's Barack Obama.
Clinton, who was being interviewed from Central Asia, couldn't resist a little wordplay about her location.
Are you in Herman Cain's famously designated Becky-Stan?
Well, you know, there's a 0.000 chance I'm going to comment on Republican politics, but I am in Uzbekistan.
Of course, with Hillary Clinton on the talk shows, 2016 was a topic.
4 more years, 2016. Have you totally rolled that out in your head?
I'll make up my mind on that later. I'm probably in the best shape I've been in my life. I'm doing pretty well. I'm enjoying what I'm doing. And as long as I do, I'm going to continue to do it.
Okay, but possibility. You're not closing that door.
I'm not closing anything.
How about that? We had a little fun with you. Hillary Clinton, of course, totally has claimed to rule out 2016. Vice President Biden, who nobody talks about with 2016, that window is ajar. Finally, as Rick Perry prepares to roll out a flat tax plan in South Carolina tomorrow, what will all the focus on scrapping the current tax code mean for Mitt Romney, whose plan by comparison, some will argue, looks like tinkering? Romney once derided the Steve Forbes 17% flat tax as a tax cut for fat cats. Now Forbes is in the Perry camp, and Romney's rivals are tapping into the frustration many Republican voters feel about the current system.
This coming Tuesday, I'm going to release the details of an economic growth package. And it starts with scrapping that 3 million words of our current tax code. Throw it out. Get rid of it.
I want to take away the 10 million ways they have now to tax us. I'm not worried about one. I'm worried about the 10 million in the current tax code.
Now, we saw in 2003 candidate like Howard Dean push the rest of the Democratic field to the left on Iraq. In 2007, we saw John Edwards push Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama into getting more detailed health care plans out. In this case, are we going to watch Herman Cain and Rick Perry push Mitt Romney on taxes? One thing about the flat tax always plays well with Republican primary voters, and then these flat and fair taxes get into general elections, and Democrats pick them apart because of the deletion of some popular tax deductions. All right.